Oh my God, don't look down.
It's awesome.
Don't look down.
Don't. Like, what's scarier, looking down or looking up? Equally bad.
What makes people rock climb? If you're thinking about starting, this is my beginner's perspective and my experience trying rock climbing for the first time in Boulder, Colorado. I'll go through equipment, preparation, and planning, and how that compares to the actual climb itself. The first time I paid attention to rock climbing was when I watched Free Solo on an airplane. I was riveted. It was crazy to me that this guy would climb without ropes, knowing that one wrong slip would mean he'd fall to his death. A few years later, for my sister's 50th birthday, I offered to take her on a trip to Boulder, Colorado because we both love hiking, but my sister really loves rock climbing. Even though I was a complete beginner, I thought I would be willing to give it a try because I had about 8 months to learn. Even though this was going to be completely new to me, I was feeling optimistic because this is the same sister that convinced me that I could run a half marathon. And this is after a lifetime of being a self-proclaimed non-athlete. I ran my first half marathon with her, and then I went on to run 4 more half marathons within the 2-year span. So she knew I was trainable. But running and climbing could not be more different. When you're running, it's pretty easy. As long as you're trained up, everything in the race is set up. You just need to make sure you make your stops, you fuel, and keep going. With climbing, you have to figure out how you're going to get from point A to point B.
I think that side though is better.
Okay.
This way? I'm gonna go this way. Okay. Let's see. Oh, got it. Okay. Okay. Whew.
The person in front of you may do it very differently, and you're just going to have to figure it out. It's actually, in my opinion, a lot more intellectual than running.
Is this the best place to be going up? It's like no place to put my foot.
We plan to climb the Third Flatiron, which is supposed to be one of the best beginner climbs. And my sister kept telling me, don't worry, it's a slab. It's not even vertical. So from this angle, it looks like a slab, but from this angle, it definitely does not look easy. So at the very beginning, as I'm looking up the mountain, I'm not kidding, there was a 10-second window when I said to myself, maybe I should bail. But then I thought about how much my sister had been looking forward to this and also how much time and equipment and gear and practicing I put in. And so I just said, okay, let's just do it.
I was like, don't think about why you did this. Don't think about the choices you made.
Questioning all your decisions in life.
Like, why did I say I was going to do this?
So before I get to the climb itself, let's quickly talk about the gear. There's no paid promotion here, but there was a decent amount of investment in gear that I needed for this rock climb. The first thing my sister told me to buy were climbing shoes, and these were the ones she recommended. These are the Meet Those climbing shoes. They're more flat. There's some that are angled, which she didn't recommend. And these are different because they are tacky in the toes, and you can use this to get more stability using the tip of your toes when you were climbing.
Trust the toe.
She also said to buy a slightly smaller shoe, and these will stretch a little bit. She also said not to wear socks, which I found kind of gross. So I always use socks when I wore these, but these obviously are really key. Because of the stiffness of these shoes, I just found them to be pretty uncomfortable. I do think it would be true for any climbing shoe, and you basically have to sacrifice that comfort for better foot grip. The second piece of equipment that I needed was a harness, and my sister lent me this Petzl harness, which was still in very good condition. If you're going to be borrowing or buying used, just be aware that these pieces of equipment do have expiration dates, and you don't want to find out when you're in the middle of the climb that the structure of your harness has been compromised. You're also going to need a climbing helmet, and I found this Petzl brand helmet in a sporting goods store in the Italian Dolomites, and it was a lot cheaper than if I had bought it in the US, so that was a good find. My sister also bought me this chalk bag, which I didn't end up using because I just don't feel like my hands get that sweaty. And also I bought these stupidly expensive Patagonia climbing pants, which were completely unnecessary. You can just climb in regular pants. Moving on to practice. On Thanksgiving weekend, my sister and I went to a local climbing gym and my mom tagged along to take video. And I was really bad. I was super slow. I had to be directed to like every single hole, where I should put my feet, where I should put my hand. It took me forever to get to the top. And then once I got to the top, I didn't know how to get down. So I probably should have asked before it went up, but you know, it's funny because I made the same mistake again when we started this climb on the Third Flatiron. I never asked my sister, how are we going to get down? It occurred to me to ask her like in the middle of our climb. So that was not a good thing. Always ask, how are you going to get down? I did learn that I was okay with the heights in the climbing gym and I was comfortable with the ropes. And so by December, I was already belay certified and I had purchased a 10-visit punch card to go practice more at my local gym. Unfortunately, none of my friends were interested in trying to learn rock climbing and my sister's too far away to regularly climb together. So I ended up using a lot of auto belays to practice. In the end, I only went about 6 or 7 times, and some of those times it was after I had played an hour and a half of tennis because the buildings were conveniently right next to each other. I got to level 9, which is still considered very beginner, but I should have done more. But in the back of my head, my sister kept telling me, don't worry, it's beginner, you'll be fine.
You're saying people run up this thing? I don't believe that. What? You said people run up this thing. What? You can't run it. You have to climb this thingy.
For the actual climb itself, my sister did hire a guide and she let him know what my experience was. He checked and said he thought it would be okay as long as I trust the rope and was okay with heights and exposure.
Oh, God.
Most of those things you're not going to know if you're really good with till you're actually on the rock, but it did help that our guide was very calm and very patient.
How's it feeling?
This part's a little tricky. Okay, good. Oh, okay.
By the way, if you are enjoying this video, hit the thumbs up button and also hit subscribe. It really helps support my new channel. Our guide Peter goes up first. He lays out the route and the anchors and runs the ropes through them while my sister is belaying him as he's going up the mountain.
Connie is belaying our guide Peter, and then the Flatirons are down that way.
And then once he gets to the end, he switches to belay the two of us, and we each have our own ropes. I'm on the blue rope. And as we're going up and climbing up, we have to disconnect our rope from each anchor. I would climb up first and then my sister would follow me. And as she was going, she was also cleaning and taking all the anchors and collecting them on her belt.
Oh, shoot.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
I got it.
Oh, God. What do I do? You're unclipped.
Huh? That's
You're-
okay, don't worry.
Yeah?
Each one of these rope setups is called a pitch, and we did 6.5 pitches to get to the top.
Oy, oy, oy. The heck? Okay. Oh my gosh. How many more pitches do we have?
I don't know.
Why does it look so bad over here? I don't like this part. How come the next clip is so far? What? Should I go left? Should I go to the left side? I think I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna step over your rope.
Based on some of the stories Peter told, I think he was used to people really panicking and freezing. And so compared to them, I was not so bad.
Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Next one. Okay, okay.
I also learned the term features, which is places where you can put your hands and feet on the rock. So a rock that's really smooth is really much more difficult to climb. And supposedly, again, Third Flatiron is one of the best beginner climbs because it has a lot of features. As you can see in this GoPro video, most of it is me looking right and left, trying to find features where I could put my hands and feet.
This is like not as many features.
No?
I'm gonna be like, where are my features? Features, features. Oh God. Oh, this is very smooth.
I think it was more my practical brain just telling me, look, you don't really have a choice. If you want to get off this rock, you have to finish this climb. So just keep going.
Okay. 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 Ah, okay. All right, all right.
What else was good stuff? We got to rest at the end of each pitch and admire the views. We got to see some hang gliders and some hawks. And Peter was boosting my confidence by saying I looked pretty relaxed. And you can see in this photo, I look relaxed based on my body position, but really, honestly, that was just the most comfortable position to be in to rest in that spot.
I think you should get one to be like this. Just hanging out, just a regular Monday afternoon. Oh my God.
I think my mental mode creeped into the thought that this is probably the one and only time you're going to do this. So maybe try to enjoy it. And then we got to the crevice.
I'm heading toward there.
First, if you kind of go as high as you can to the left,
Okay.
onto that big ledge,
Yeah. So I want to go, where am I heading? Like toward you, like over there?
you see this crack that kind of diagonals towards me at foot level right now?
This one?
A little higher
Oh, higher.
on this wall. Low, you'll have better feet.
Keep low, like what's low mean? Like this? Like this?
That's good.
Not feeling great.
Some hands.
Where do I put my right foot though?
I wouldn't go up anymore.
No.
I would come sideways, or maybe even a step down.
There's no place to stick my foot. Is it gonna stick?
And then we got to the crevice, which we had to jump across. And then the last part of the climb, which is the crux, was extremely smooth. To me, there were not enough features, and it was a struggle.
Look at this crevice. So cool.
In this picture, my sister and I, instead of saying cheese, we're saying, hi, Mom, which is funnier for us because our mom deems any kind of physical activity to be dangerous, crazy, and unnecessary. So this is going to just stay a sister secret. So here we are at the top. We made it. At the summit, there is a plaque that a son left for his dad, which was so nice. And my sister was not lying that this was a beginner climb because as we're resting at the summit, all of a sudden, this young redhead guy just pops up from nowhere. And he says he has no ropes. He says he's been climbing since midnight, many different peaks. And by the way, he's run out of water and also sunscreen. So my sister gives him some water. And I have no idea how he climbed down because, like I said, that last part, extremely smooth. I don't know how you get down without ropes. But apparently a lot of people do this climb with no ropes. How are we getting down? My sister left out the part that we are rappelling off the back of the rock, which, by the way, is much more terrifying than the entire climb up because you basically have to climb down, not being able to see what is below you. So here I am at the beginning of my descent with my fear and inexperience creating a jerky release rather than a smooth rope release. And my sister said, look at you. You look like such a badass in this picture. And she doesn't know, but in my brain, I was just trying to keep my shit together so I could get off this mountain. So I continued descending blind, and sometimes it was open space where you are not touching the rock. So I'm just trying to keep myself from spinning around. And at one point, we do have to kick off and swing to the left so we can get to the spot where we stop rappelling. And from there, I have to disconnect and wait for my sister to come down. So this is a picture of me basically with my entire life being held by this little thin blue rope. And I'm not even standing on anything. I'm kind of like leaning with my feet pushed against the rock and pulled against this anchor just to keep me in place. It's not a good feeling. I gotta say, this shot of my sister is amazing, but in reality, she was probably super bored with this easy climb. The good news is that we only needed 2 rappels before the sweet relief of putting my feet back on the ground and also being able to take off those climbing shoes. So what my sister didn't realize is that before you even get to the rock climb, there is a pretty strenuous hike that is pretty steep and involves a rock scramble. So after we got to the bottom, we still had another 30 to 40 minutes to hike down to get to the cars. Would I do this again? It's not a hard no, but I would definitely have to go back to rock climbing and really feel like I made improvements before I tried this again. Watching YouTube videos on improving my climbing technique is not going to cut it. I do plan to keep pushing myself to do new things, and the next thing I'm trying is Patagonia. We are ready to do the W Trek, so let the training begin. Follow me for more tips on how to travel smart and also to see my success and failures at trying to do new things.